Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And as you can see, we're bringing you live coverage of what are going to be the first 15 minutes of the Friday training session here at FC Barcelona at the Ciutat Esportiva. But of course, it's not just an ordinary training session. This is the last training session before a rather important game tomorrow. This is the game that doesn't just bring Catalonia to a standstill, not just Spain, not just Europe. The whole planet nowadays comes to a standstill for El Clásico. It's Real Madrid versus FC Barcelona tomorrow, live. Getting going at 1 o'clock. It's an unusual kickoff time for a Clásico. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Central European time. So that means for perhaps changing your Barca viewing plans around the world. It means some of you in the Americas are going to be staying up very, very late or getting up very, very early. It means in Europe people will be having a lunchtime Barca game to watch, and of course in Asia and in Oceania, all our friends down in Australia, New Zealand, it's going to be quite a nice tidy evening kickoff to watch. Okay, we've got all your comments that will be coming through on Facebook. We'll be having a chance to chat to you as the training session progresses. But, you know, we'd really like to know where you're going to be watching the game. Will you be watching it at home? Will you be going out to a bar? Obviously, it's going to be an unusual one tomorrow, because not just because of the importance of the game and the excitement that surrounds it, but also because of the somewhat unusual kickoff time for a Clásico. It's also quite unusual that it's coming up just 2 days before Christmas. I mean, everything's happening here at the moment. As you know, there were elections here in Catalonia yesterday. We've got Christmas coming up on Monday. Today is the day that the El Gordo, the lottery, is announced. So there are going to be some new millionaires around the country. Hopefully I'll be one of those. I'll be checking my number later on today. And we've got the Clásico thrown in. Only once before has there been a Clásico on the 23rd of December, and it was exactly 10 years ago in 2007. Unfortunately, Barca lost that one 1-0. Julio Baptista scoring the only goal at the Camp Nou, so we'll forget about that. We'll turn over to happier memories. Of course, Barca looking to win at the Santiago Bernabeu for the first time ever in 3 consecutive Liga matches. In fact, it's something that's only ever been done once before. Atletico Madrid, not so long ago. In fact, they won 3 consecutive Liga matches at the Santiago Bernabeu. Barca have never done that. We could do it this time. Of course, you don't need me to remember what happened last time they met in the league. That wonderful Clásico game, one of the most exciting Clásicos, I think, in living memory, with Leo Messi, of course, scoring 2 of the goals. And the last one coming in the 92nd minute, 2 minutes into injury time. Sergio Roberto with that amazing run at the pitch. Such drama. And not only that, that was Leo Messi's 500th goal for the club. Of course, the Clásico is something where Leo Messi has a bit of a habit of scoring. Did you know? This is an interesting fact. Leo Messi has scored 10 league goals in the Santiago Bernabeu in the Clásico, and that makes him the leading goal scorer in Clásicos at the Santiago Bernabeu. Di Stefano and Raul, they got 9. Messi 10. So it's quite unusual that actually is an away player, a visiting player, who scored the most Clásico goals at the Camp Nou. He scored a total of 24 goals in all competitions in the Clásico. He's the leading goal scorer in Clásico history. 16 of those in La Liga. In fact, Cristiano Ronaldo is only 3rd in the list. Di Stefano is 1 goal ahead of him. So if Ronaldo scores tomorrow, he'd move up to joint 2nd. Okay, let's have a look at some of your comments. Messi, world, best of the world and all time. That's Otunba saying that. Can't disagree with that. I don't think anyone can. I think we will win the game 3-1, says Omar. Let's do this. Up Barca, says Ebite. That's know where you're writing in from. It's really nice to know what countries you're viewing the game from. We've got a question here from Ayush. Wants to know, is Dembele playing or not? We're going to be having a press conference with Ernesto Valverde later on, but I think he's generally been saying that it would be too much of a risk to throw him into the game quite this early. Possibly the same applies to Rafinha, who, as we know, is declared fit again. But who am I to say? Ernesto Valverde is one of the greatest coaches in world football. He knows a lot better than me, so don't ask my opinion. I personally would probably say unlikely, but you never know. Paul Costello is going to be hopefully watching a Barca victory and also going to watch Celtic play against Aberdeen. Celtic, bad luck last week. Their incredible unbeaten run came to an end, lost 4-0 to Hearts, but let's not talk about that. Messi más que Ter Stegen, les mando saludos desde, nuestros amigos en todo el mundo de habla castellana, también vamos a hablar con ustedes, los que están en Sudamérica. Vaya horarios mañana. Yo tengo familiares en México y pues a las 6 de la mañana tendrán que levantarse para ver el partido. Pero bueno, mis familias en México, la mayoría son madridistas, entonces. Forza Barça, queremos a nossa prenda de Natal e que seja uma vitória sobre Madrid. That's Gelson, I believe, speaking in Portuguese, but we got the drift of what he was saying. Josh is saying we win 5-0 tomorrow. In Barbados, we've got Buju Di Stinger, ready for Barcelona to beat Real Madrid. We've got another 3-1 prediction from Emil Neymar Jr. We've had this person before, and I think we established that it's not the real Neymar Jr. Memo Titi with Messi, no choice but victory. Although odds are higher, we'll beat Madrid at the Bernabeu, says Eno Tambe. Are the odds that higher? I don't know. I mean, are Barca even the favourites? Of course, you don't need me to remind you how things are at the moment. Barca 11 points clear at the top of the table. They would go a massive 14 points clear if they were to win. Of course, do bear in mind that Madrid have got a game in hand against Leganés because of the Club World Cup, but all the same, 11 points difference could be 14. It's actually the third biggest difference of all time between Barca and Madrid going into the Clásico. So, we've got Can Kim speaking in from Cambodia, speaking about how much love for Barca, and Piqué is his idol. There's someone there from Greece. I don't read Greek, so I can't. We'll go to Kevin from Indonesia, who believes Barca will win this Clásico. Best of luck from Kelly Harris. And Afrapas says, Barca till I die. Messi will hunt again at Bernabeu, his favourite ground. It is, in fact, you know, he scored more goals at the Bernabeu than any other stadium. 10 goals Leo Messi's scored there. All kinds of other interesting stats. I mean, we talk about Messi and his goal-scoring feats. In fact, since Luis Suarez signed for FC Barcelona, he's actually Barca's leading goal-scoring Clásicos. He scored 6 goals. Of course, he hasn't scored as many as Messi. He hasn't played for the club as often as Messi. Another interesting stat. This is a really interesting one. The top goal scorer of 2017. At the moment, it's tied between 4 different players. Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lewandowski, and Cavani of PSG. They've all scored 53 goals each. Now, Lewandowski and Cavani, they've finished for the season. They can't score anymore. So it's between Messi and Ronaldo, which have become the top goal scorer of 2017. Unless there could be a surprise. Don't forget Harry Kane of Spurs. He scored 50 goals this season, so he's actually not that far away. And Spurs have still got 2 games against Burnley and Southampton to come. But it's probably between Messi and Ronaldo to see who's going to be the top scorer of 2017. Jeffrey says the coach shouldn't risk Dembele. Barca will win the match tomorrow. And Bright is supporting live from southern Cameroon. Prifidas, Luis Suarez, Leo Dembele gonna hunt the Real Madrid easily. 3-1 seems to be the most popular prediction. Lionel Messi to score a brace, says Mandela Ayos. A brace, of course, for those that don't know, means 2 goals. The weather, do you know, it's really warm here today. I've come out wearing a really thick winter coat. Didn't need it. It's really warm. It's 13 degrees, but it actually feels a lot warmer. The sun's shining. We've got a glimpse there of Jordi Alba. You can see he's involved in the session. He missed a couple of training sessions this week. He was working in isolation. I think the papers were just getting a bit excited, trying to say that he could be injured, but no, you can see he's playing there. I'm sure Ernesto Valverde will be asked about that in his press conference, but you can see he's training there. He looks fine. Okay, let's go back to some comments. Okoro, FC Barca, give me a perfect Christmas gift by winning tomorrow. Of course, we all want this Christmas gift. Messi, the best of the world, says Hamed Cadence. Another record breaker for Messi tomorrow, says Mustard Seed. Messi, the best football player around the world, says Hernan Nunez.
gestiona molt bé aquesta plantilla i una prova més és Vermaelen. Vermaelen jo crec que entra fins i tot en la categoria.
There's Paulinho. He didn't play in either of the Spanish Super Cup games. There's only two players that haven't played in a Clásico before. There's the other one, in fact, in the middle of your picture, Thomas Vermaelen. So Paulinho and Vermaelen, the two players that don't have any Clásico experience in the past. Either of them could be making their debuts in the big game tomorrow. Luis Graham, ooh, little Real Madrid supporter sneaking there onto the Barca comments. Let's go back to some of you Barca people. Got some good luck there from Ongeoma Jerry. Advice, strength and no error on the defender's side. That's Mohe speaking. Hoping that Messi will score again in the last 30 seconds. I hope Messi scores at any time. The last 30 seconds will be brilliant, but any time, really. Good luck, guys. Messi and Suarez. How are your best? That's Tina Halonen. And best end to the year will be a win tomorrow, says Wahia Wazir. Messi is the last chapter of football, says Amro Abu. I actually hope not. I hope he's not the last chapter of football. I hope football goes on and on forever and becomes eternal. Messi, the last chapter of football. Interesting comment there. Barca will extend their winning streak, says Josh. What do you think? Who can win tomorrow? Asks Mohammed. Well, Barca are on fantastic form, of course. We have to remember the Super Cup. That was a nasty reverse, 5-1. And how things have turned around since then, because everyone's talking about Madrid, we're doing so well, and Barca, oh, crisis, crisis, crisis. They love the word crisis in the local press here. It's turned around. Barca, of course, through to the last 16 of the Copa del Rey, through to the last 16 of the Champions League, unbeaten in La Liga. Things couldn't have gone better. Things couldn't be better. And Real Madrid, of course, 11 points adrift. I keep reminding you about that. Messi is the best in all history. Visca el Barça. Barca 4-1. That's a prediction from Tawus. Can we watch the match live from this platform? Asked Daniel. I'm afraid that can't be done, unfortunately, because of the rights, obviously, to who's allowed to broadcast it. Barca 3, Real Madrid 0. Messi is good enough to make it happen. We know that. That's Claude Bernard saying that. Predictions, everybody's predicting that Barca are going to win. From Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, hope to win at the Bernabeu. That's from Duk Hyun Nguyen, I believe, is more or less the correct pronunciation. Just got a glimpse there of Andres Iniesta. He's the guy who's got the most Liga Clásico appearances under his belt, 24 for Barca. In fact, it's matched with somebody from Real Madrid who's also played 24, Sergio Ramos. He's also appeared in 24 Liga Clásicos over the years. If you look on our website, you'll see an interview with Iniesta. You also had Ter Stegen, Rakitic, Paulinho. They've all been giving their opinions. You can listen to what they have to say. Ter Stegen, Ter Stegen's never had a clean sheet against Real Madrid. Let's hope that changes tomorrow. That would be wonderful. Back to your comments. Messi once again will prove that the only football messiah is him once and for all. That's Arnaud saying that very poetic comment there. Mohid, his Dihar, let's go Barca, vacuum Real Madrid away. I like that, vacuum Real Madrid. Great little comment that. Messi, vamos por todo. Liga, Copa del Rey y Champions. Barça Paula, un aficionado tanto del Barça que hasta tiene el nombre del Barça en su nombre aquí en Facebook. Youssef, Messi will prove he's the best again. So a lot of people asking about Dembélé, Dagart George, Hajia Jaite asking about Dembélé. Do you think he'll play tomorrow? Well, Ernesto Valverde, I'm sure, will be asked about that. And you can watch live coverage of his training session, of his media conference at roughly 12:30, but in fact things started a little bit later today, so maybe it will be heading on more for 1 o'clock when Valverde is going to be giving a press conference. I'm sure that one of the questions he will be asked is whether Dembélé will be playing tomorrow. Personally, if you're asking my personal opinion, I don't think he'll risk it at this stage. I think he'd rather wait until after the Christmas break. But people are still asking that question. Ignatius Ryan, Dembele, is he playing tomorrow? I don't know. Do you know? Let us know in your comments, please. Okay, that's the end of that because we've got to cut the signal. But don't forget, the players, they'll be heading off to Madrid this evening. They'll be staying in a hotel in the Spanish capital overnight, heading to the stadium at around about 11:30 in the morning. Don't forget, kick-off 1 o'clock Central European time. Enjoy the game wherever you are around the world. Força Barça, let's do this. Let's go 14 points clear of Real Madrid. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Goodbye.
Segueix l'entrenament del Barça. Gràcies, Marc. En una estoneta tindrem aquesta roda de premsa Ernesto Valverde. Al Jofre li estaven preguntant per si hi ha manies especials o no abans d'un partit d'aquestes característiques. El Jofre més aviat apunta que no. I ara recordo que hi havia un jugador del Real Madrid, Roberto Carlos,